Hey, this is Mudge, and here's some comic reviews for you. I got some Marvel and DC's, some Rebirths, but I'm not going to do all of them. But I will say that as a whole, the DC Rebirth books that I got were really, really strong, which was really surprising. Unfortunately, this one right here, the Justice League number 5, was not one of those that was strong. They're basically settling the fight between those giants who are siphoning off the Flash's power, and they're doing some shenanigans. And the heroes are they doing something good? Are they doing something bad? We don't know what they're doing, but we got to fight them. And something happens where it's like, and they're finally able to stop them, but something bad is still coming. And then as I'm reading this book, I'm just going, the art's pretty good. It really, nothing of significance happened. Yes, there was there was a battle, but just imagine you're punching a truck. That's what it was kind of like. The heroes were punching the truck, and the truck just stood there, and it was just kind of like, I don't know. I found it very unfulfilling, and for the most part, a complete waste of paper and my time. I want my time back. More importantly, this was not a good book. Even if this was a transitional book leading into something bigger, it created absolutely no excitement at all to go to that next level, and it was rather very disappointing. Okay, Batman number 7, the Night of the Monster Man. It's your basically typical normal night. Problems are big hurricanes coming, so Batman decides that it's his job to take on the hurricane and make sure everybody gets to safety. Well, that plan gets stopped because of the giant monsters. Now, the giant monsters are very cool looking. The art I thought, was really well done. Maybe there's a panel here and there that I didn't like as much, but you can tell that the art was very stylized. So I was still going, okay, that's still fine overall. It's not because the guy was just being lazy type thing. And I thought that this was a great book. It was this and Nightwing. It's basically they're trying to Batman splitting up the team to try to get some people out of the city, or all of the people out of the city. And he sends Nightwing to the morgue to find out about Hugo Strange and what he's up to. Overall, I think, surprisingly, because originally I wrote this off just when I heard the basic concept, but after reading Batman and the Nightwing issue, I thought this was a great start to the overall story. Highly recommended so far. I'm really curious to see where this thing is going to play out, because you have Psycho Pirate involved, Hugo Strange. It's going to be insane. And in Nightwing, there's a monster attacking Bloodhaven, so that's where eventually Nightwing's going to head off to. So overall, I really enjoyed this. King, is it King? Yeah, King's been doing a great job after Snyder. So kudos to DC for keeping this as a top level book. Now, Superman number 7. Who would have thought a book without fighting could be this freaking good? It basically was. I guess the best way to describe it for a lot of the Marvel fans was this was the type of story that occurred in the X-Men, where you have fight, and then the X-Men are playing softball, and they're just enjoying life type thing, outside of fighting. And this is what this issue was. It was Clark and Lois, and they go to the county fair type thing. Clark is I promise I won't be Superman at all type thing. And it was overall just a great story. It was a great family moment. This was seeing Superman in longtime Superman fans have seen Clark like this in the similar situations, but it was just nice. It was just so well written. The art was good, and it was just just like I said, a really well written issue where it was, I guess you could just say, family bonding time. And like stories, all comics need stories like this every now and then to build up the relationship of the characters, to ground the heroes, show people what they're fighting for, type thing. And like they did a fantastic job with this issue. This is definitely like a 10 out of 10 issue. Now, after I read that, I read Trinity, and surprisingly, this is another book where it was just there's no fighting. Like in the past, every time DC did these Trinity stories, it was always, hey, we have to team these three characters up because something evil and dangerous is coming. No, this was the something evil and dangerous was eating at Clark's house, out of costume, and they basically just sat there. They talked. You have Batman who doesn't trust. This version of Superman. You have Wonder Woman who's like going, Lois, I know that you know that like I had a thing for your husband, but this isn't the husband that I had my thing for. This is a different person, so you don't have to worry. And and they also show a different vulnerability to Wonder Woman, which was like surprising that they even did that. And it was just such a great story of rebuilding the characters, like in terms of the way they acted together, the way they worked together, the bonding of the three. And I thought, the art was, again, solid. The writing was solid. This was just another fantastic read. It just was so solid. If they can keep the stories up for, after this issue, this good, they will have absolutely no problems this being a top 10 book for sure. All right, now we go into Marvel, The Mighty Thor. This was my favorite Marvel book by far. We're finally getting the end to the storyline where, you have Roxanne, and you have Silver Samurai, and then you have all the craziness and nonsense. Is Jane Foster really Thor? And it was just, there's a lot of humor that they sprinkled into it, like the S.H.I.E.L.D. agents going, well, obviously that can't be Jane Foster because she's right there, and I don't understand how we got that wrong. There's, a part at the very end where after they captured everybody, S.H.I.E.L.D. agents captured everybody, and they're taking them to, wherever they take the holding cells and stuff. And the lawyers start coming out. That part was really funny. It was just a really great book. And this issue actually does answer who is Thor, the female Thor. And it was, again, it was just a fantastic read. I loved not every page, but I liked most of the pages. And like I said, this is one of those books that it's really underappreciated. Very, very underappreciated. All right, here comes the controversial. See, even my comics did not like Civil War. This is the controversial Civil War number 5. There's going to be spoilers here, so if you don't want the spoilers, just skip ahead. But basically, the gist is everybody's fighting. There's the airport type scene, and at the very end, it's discovered that Miles Morales is going to kill Captain America, Steve Rogers. And which results in the very ending of Carol going, "You're under arrest. I'm sorry you have to do this, but you're under arrest." Which I'm like going, that's just completely stupid. How can you arrest him for killing Cap when he hasn't even killed Cap? There's not even any evidence that he's trying to kill Cap. But anyways, I wanted to point something out first. This here is one of the laziest battle scenes I've ever seen. And I will, every time I see this, I will always point this, maybe if I don't point it, I should. But while, yes, it's very nice that you can see, everybody can see who's on whose side. But at the same time, I'm going strategically, this is really stupid. Like, all it would take is Doctor Strange to cast some interdimensional spell, and like a nice little AoE magic could have teleported all of those heroes away and fight over. But they never do shit like that. And I don't understand why this doesn't happen. And it just, I don't know, it just aggravates me so much when I see this type of stuff. And then even when I'm seeing these individual fights, it's like, I'm just like going, some of this stuff just doesn't make sense. Like, why would mutants side with the Inhumans? It's like they're going to, it's like you're siding with the enemy. It just doesn't make sense. And I don't know. It's just, and why is Magic siding with the Inhumans too? That's another one that just boggles my mind. There are some good moments here and there throughout the fight, because as you can see here, there's a lot of fight. But overall, I say that this book was just really aggravating. And here's this part where, it's already leaked online, but there's the page where Miles kills Cap. Which I'm going, Cap's a Hydra agent, so who cares if he kills Cap? There's probably a good reason why he killed Cap. But again, it's like, you can't arrest this kid for doing that when he hasn't done it. So, if anything, the way to end this book is to have Ulysses say, wait a second, Carol, you're about to do something horrible, and we have to arrest you now. Because I guarantee the second Carol gets called out is the second she gives up this plan and program and basically says, this is a bad idea. Sorry, guys. I need to come up with something different. Guarantee. Overall, with the lateness involved in this book, I'm just still losing interest. The ending, it's clearly for shock, and I'm just getting tired of this. It's just not for me. It's not a fun book anymore. Okay, all I'm going to really say about The Amazing Spider-Man number 18 is I think somebody messed up their order, because this takes place before Dead No More, because this is dealing with Otto and how he's going to be able to get his intelligence, art intelligence going to the robots, and then eventually launch his attack against Peter. So I'm going, shouldn't this really been done before Dead No More? Because now it's like you've basically killed the momentum of that storyline. So after reading this, this book is very close to being chopped too, because I'm already not that I'm losing interest in this whole storyline, the Dead No More storyline, and all that other stuff. So that's just, I don't know if I'm going to keep going. Not happy with it. All right, Civil War 2 crossover, Guardians of the Galaxy number 12. I bought it because, I was collecting Guardians of the Galaxy. After reading this, I realized I made a horrific mistake. Horrific. The bulk of this book is basically the heroes, the Guardians, waiting for the battle. Then when we get to the battle, there's a couple funny moments with Rocket Raccoon and his spaceship blowing up. But when you look through the battle, there's no mention of, hey, wait a second, here's the Inhumans. At least that I noticed. And then on top of that, they end it like a 30-something minute battle. And then there's no mention of what happened to Miles. Why is Miles important? All Tony's heroes, they're gone off the battlefield. It doesn't even look like they've been arrested. And this leads to the part where Gamora finds out Thanos is on Earth. So, it's basically... What this book reminded me of was, imagine you're waiting for the baseball game to start, but they put the camera in the dugout so you get to see the people in the dugout talk about the game. Then the game happens, and then after the game is over, you realize at some point in time you missed some of that game because you watched the highlights of it on the news, and you missed critical pieces of information about this battle, like such as the Inhumans joining in, such as another Ulysses vision, such as Miles getting accused of killing Cap, and and you realize that you were gypped again. Yet again. So as a whole, I'm very disappointed. Very. And I'm very happy I did not pick up the International Iron Man. Because, spoiler alert, we learned Tony's dad was a Hydra agent. So, God, it's like, it's like there's no thought, there's no originality. It's just, hey, they're S.H.I.E.L.D. Everybody's a S.H.I.E.L.D. Every superhero seems to have a father connected to S.H.I.E.L.D. or Hydra. Or they're Hydra, and it's like, or they're S.H.I.E.L.D. agents. It's like, Jesus, it's like, when's that stuff going to end? When are they going to get more creative? It's just a bunch of bull. It's boring. It's predictable. It's not even shocking anymore. It's just a shame. It's laziness. And so that's why, I'm going to be canceling a bunch more books. Definitely. All Iron Man dropped. Not even going to pick up the whatever this stupendous superior Iron Man, whatever they're calling them. I'm just done with all this. I'm done with a bunch of this nonsense, and done with IVE. I'm sorry, IVX. Done. Not even going to pick that up. Anyways, that's some comic reviews for you. Let me know what you guys picked up, what you guys liked the most or didn't like. Let me know what you thought about Civil War. We'll have some more stuff later. So until next time.